With my knees, I had not even wiped the dust on my knees. And I was kneeling to say, will you marry me? And then she left for Australia. And to make it worse, she came to Australia on my birthday.
Yeah.
The same day was my birthday.
That was the best.
I tell you, to be honest, I took her.
I know.
It was a terrible birthday gift
terrible
because
birthday.
I remember we were still thinking,
Yeah.
do you think this thing is still going to work? At that time when you were young, when you're vulnerable, you call it a thing because
Yeah.
because you're not even sure whether which direction you're
Yeah.
going. But yeah, I remember before she flew, we came to a consensus. We sat together and said that, yeah, this is what we really want. And to be honest, I met the things that Esther made me want to be married to her, and the things that made me want to be in a relationship.
Wow.
Because I remember.
Share.
I remember she took me through a program in her church that is called Mizizi. For those people who want to know Mizizi, you go to Mavuno Church. There's a 10-week series called Mizizi that is normally done by the young adults, and it's something that prepares you for life and the future to come.
Yeah.
And so she took me through that program. She sponsored me for the program because we were paying 2,500, and she sponsored me through that.
That's
So-
a substantial amount of that time.
Yeah, that is not small amount of money. And thinking that she played all that role when we were not married, and we were just dating and courtship and all that, it made me think that this is what God wanted, because if someone starts building a foundation before you start living in that house, it means that those people are watering their time and space for that thing. And when we got married, we got married when she was in Australia, so she had to travel to Kenya. We did our wedding, and that was the most breaking point of my life.
Wow, those are really like good stories, like a background of how far they've come. And it's really good. But I'm sure it's been like a bit of a journey with challenges as well. And some of you have talked about it a little bit. Communication, faithfulness. Those are some of the things that we would like to hear and know how you handled it.
Yeah, so let me just take up on communication, which I really wanted to talk about, but I'll just mention this. You know, even when we were dating, when we were doing the, what do we call it, the thing?
Coaching.
When we are putting
Counseling.
the counseling,
Yeah.
when the person who counsels you is always telling you about communication. And you never know the importance of communication until you get married.
Yeah.
And it's never tested until you're separate. There is that separation with the distance thing. And communication really is important. I can't even emphasize anymore how it's being told.
Yeah.
You have to keep communication going. Because I remember for the good thing with him, he used to communicate with me like every day he had to know how I'm going on. Now I'm talking of the recent one when I was here. He used to talk to me like every day. And because of the nature of his work, sometimes he was busy and could not really communicate the exact time that I wanted.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, my heart would go, where is he? What is he doing? What is happening? What is he thinking? You know? And maybe if he sent a message, he left a message, and of course back home it's maybe in the evening, I'm sleeping here in the morning. If probably by lunchtime he hasn't found any reply, I'll find a message, where are you? So if you're not aware of such things, it can become a challenge. But I can't emphasize more on communication. Despite messages being replied, calls not being picked, you've got to continue talking. You've got to continue talking, leave messages, And not just, asking, leave encouraging messages. I remember
I was about to ask about that. What kind of messages?
Yeah, you got to leave encouraging messages that build your marriage.
Relationship.
Yeah. Put scriptures, and I remember even when he used to call me, we used to set time, we go to pray. We pray for our marriage, we pray for our child. We sort of created a home, a house, even through communication, because already the home is there. We had to create that moment of togetherness and use the communication methods we had to pray and ask God to be.
And actually, when you're talking about communication, it's not just about the positive things. Sometimes there are seasons where you could find yourself, you are mute to each other because of misunderstandings.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, and this misunderstanding created because of distance.
Yeah.
This distance is a huge challenge. This season, sometimes you can find yourself talking to each other in very uncouth language. And that is very, very important for you who is watching us here tonight or today. That it's important to filter the kind of language that you're using on your spouse. Because some words, you can never take them back. Once you say them, you don't take them back. And they can be really hard. Sometimes I remember when we had misunderstanding, we could go for a week probably without talking to each other because of the words that probably we used against each other.
Wow.
I think it was long.
It was longer than a week or less than a week. Okay, sometimes we wait for 1 or 2 days without talking to each other. And that was due to misunderstanding brought about by some words that we had used against each other. And therefore, there's some words like I would like to talk to you about. Do not threaten your spouse on their phone that I'm going to divorce you, I'm going to do this and this. Some words keep to yourself, because at one moment you are heated up, you are short-tempered, the next moment you are remorseful. But you already spoke those words. They cannot come back. So it's important to filter what you say. Do not threaten or curse in anger. Wait until you calm down and talk.
Wow, communication. I don't think we can cover the whole of it.
Communication. And like John is saying, sometimes you just get to that place where you're now thinking into your mind and you're wondering, what is this person doing? And it's just considering the time difference. I think at the moment it's usually like varies. So sometimes it will be 6.5 hours, it will be 7.5 hours. So if it's 8 o'clock at night here, then that person is busy doing something during the day. And so they're at work. And when I'm sleeping, then it's already their time maybe to have dinner. And maybe you have left work, you're feeling very tired, you need to have a sleep, you had a bad day at work. But it brings that home is communication, whereby this other person is also quite difficult to understand how the nature of the place would be. And getting to add on to that, communication, even what you communicate with other people. Sometimes you might just communicate with other people and all they will bring to you is just hopelessness and just bring a whole fear to yourself. It will just bring so many things that you'll be now doubting yourself. Whereabouts are you in your relationship? So sometimes it's just good. Shut those voices, filter them, and just take in what is important. Take in what other people have had to go through. And if maybe I can add on what Anja you were talking about the voices. And for example, having come to Australia, we know how life goes on here, and how strong people hold marriages. You come in here, like Wanja is saying, most of the voices you hear are hopeless voices. Voices that do not, use this word, do not respect marriage, do not respect that marriage is an institution that is started by God. And you find it's not a big deal leaving your spouse for someone else. And that's another challenge, if I would add, where you get people who are discouraging you and telling you, oh, we've seen people come here, leave their spouses.
Yeah.
So what makes you so special
Yes.
that for your
That
marriage
stand.
to work, you know? But you've got to stand.
Yeah.
Like for me, I stood and I said, I fear God.
Yeah.
And if I fear God, it's my responsibility to respect my husband and to remain faithful.
Yes.
Faithful to my husband.
Yeah.
And because if you don't, fear God, then you will be caught up in these waves that is there. You will you respect your marriage, you will not respect your spouse, and it will be easy to cross to someone else and find it usual, normal, you know?
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
Yeah. She's talked of faithfulness, and I can imagine that's also quite a big thing in distance relationships.
Yeah. Basically, just before we wind up the issue of communication, I would like to say that when you're in a relationship, especially a marriage kind of a relationship, you should not choose what you're going to tell your partner. In a marriage relationship, you should be open to one another.
Yeah.
If you have had a bad day at work, tell your partner that I've had a bad day at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have don't let your partner have to read between the lines. Just be open-minded and that kind of
You can
communication. I remember
You can
that is something that we always.
I'm going, it happens.
Yeah, that is something I've always told my wife here. I've told her that I will not let you think what I'm going through. I'll tell you what I'm going through.
Oh, that's
And,
awesome.
and when you
I will
keep
not let you
think what I'm going through,
I'll tell
I'll
you.
let you know what I'm going through.
Going
That's
And
important.
that is something that is very important.
Yes.
It's very rare.
And when you're at a long distance relationship, if you're married, the word of God tells us that we become one.
Yeah.
So there is no personal suffering in a relationship. In a marriage relationship, what you're going through should be what I'm going through.
Yes.
So if you had a bad day at work, share with me, make it my problem as well. And that keeps the paranoid ideation at bay. You don't get to a point where you think that now that she has her own things that she's going through and I'm not part of those things, then I'm also going to back off.
Yeah.
And when you back off, that is where you give the devil the loopholes.
Yep.
You start coming in and
Absolutely.
starting to dig through your relationship.
Yeah.
So you have to keep the
And
communication
when you
open.
share, it's half so.
A problem shared is half solved.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
Absolutely. Wow.
So-
That's very important.
Yes.
Faithfulness.
Yeah.
We also want to touch a bit of. We can't touch a bit of it. We're going to touch the topic of the issue of faithfulness and unfaithfulness. And I know they have insights on that and how they tackle that. Because I'm sure maybe, I don't know, do you have situations like that?
I must say that when you talk about especially these long distance relationships, and when you, in such a country like this one, where the culture itself dictates that the issue of divorce and moving on with other people is just it's normal.
Morality.
Yeah, it's something that can be a challenge even because you find people trying to entice you.
Yeah.
And that is happening in this country.
Yeah.
You are married, but they don't care.
Yeah.
They want you.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You're unmarried and we don't want you.
So it's something that it boils down to the individual.
Yes.
How you are able to rebuff some of these people, how you are able to remain steadfast to your family. Everywhere like myself where I go, I introduce myself as a married person.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't try to hide my identity.
Yeah.
I may not be having my ring, but that does not, the ring is just a symbol.
Yeah.
But that does not take away the fact that I'm not married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being married is not just like that.
No.
There's some people with rings and they're still cheating.
They take them out on Fridays.
It is if you have it holding in your heart.
In your heart, it's who you are.
If you are married, it's who you are. Like I
Yeah.
said before, an unfaithful person will always be unfaithful.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether they're in Kenya or
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah.
You see, they can, like you said, they can be in this house and unfaithful at night in the next house. So it boils down to the individual and the foundations of God.
Yeah.
That's something that we should not ignore or wish away. because if you're founded in God, some of these things, God will, the power of God working in you will bring that fear and make you a person who is unique.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was left when my wife was away. Somebody came and we were having some work that we were doing together, and men like to have a small talk.
Yeah.
And this man was telling me, "You mean Mr. John? Yeah. You mean since your wife left, you have never had someone else?"
Yeah.
He was so shocked.
Yeah.
And I said no. He was so shocked. So these are some of the things that people expect you to be like them.
Yeah.
You to be like everyone else.
But
when you are founded in Christ, you are different. You are unique. That's why the Bible says we are a peculiar people. We are a chosen generation. People belonging to God. If you belong to God, you have the seed of God in you. And you behave like a small God.
Amen.
Indeed.
Amen. Wow. Want to put anything in? Want to add anything?
George always talks something about faithfulness.
Because that's why I'm looking at you because
He's done it so well. Can you just take us through?
Basically for me in faithfulness, it's because I don't take the I'll put in quotes the nonsense that people say that it's something that you can play around with. You can be faithful today and it can narrow down tomorrow to something else. But I think of faithfulness as a godly status, where you have to be faithful today, tomorrow, and even for the future. And the Word of God says that we fall into sins when we get enticed to our own evil desires. And it means that if you have an evil desire and you choose to obey the evil desire, that is when you fall into sins. So basically, sin is a choice. And if sin is a choice, unfaithfulness is also a choice. So people will keep on telling you that when you leave your husband behind or your wife behind and you come to Australia, you are more vulnerable to become unfaithful, which is not true. And I also say that if you cannot be faithful for that someone who is away back in Kenya, the same thing plays here. You can be unfaithful in the person next door. You can have someone who is living in the next suburb. So it doesn't matter the distance. Like John has said, it still narrows down to yourself. Are you willing to be faithful? You still think that you can play around with faithfulness. If you can play around with faithfulness, it is not anyone's fault, it is your fault. So when you have to be faithful, you have to follow the ways of God. Think about the way God would want us to be. And faithfulness is a personal status. It is not something that you achieve in the near future. It is something that you have to make a deliberation with yourself and God and tell God that this is where and this is the direction I want you to take me through.
Amen.
And I like it how you put it some other time that if you're not faithful at your work, if you're not faithful even in the kitchen you are in, if you're not faithful
with the little things,
that you have, you still
going outside.
It's not. It won't.
It comes to the same word that was spoken here by Dr. Collins Odhiambo. God bless you, Doctor. He was talking about Acts 1 verse 8. It says that we be witnesses. You know that verse talks about witnessing, and you can take it literally to mean just to go out and evangelize. But he put it this way, that it is the way you carry yourself wherever you are. You be a witness. Your actions should portray Christ wherever you are. Whether you are at work, whether you're in school, wherever you are, let people find that distinction. Otherwise, if you're just like them, then there's no distinction.
That is true.
That's why when the angel went to Sodom and Gomorrah, they were able to find a distinction in the house of the Lord. Otherwise, they would not have been destroyed. There was no distinction. So we have to be witnesses wherever we are. In this country where the people talk about I will put it in a funny way, they talk about its orientation. I want to put it straight to your face today. It's not orientation, it's a choice.
It is a choice.
Faithfulness is
according to the word of God, there's nothing like orientation.
No.
This is a word they have just coined in the recent past.
Yeah.
But it's a choice. And that's why Joshua said, as for me and my house, we will choose to serve God.
Yes.
And that is the choice we made as a family, to put God as the first priority.
Yes.
He is our first priority.
Yes.
And we and God, we are forced to reckon
Yes,
with.
yes, and it's very true. We cannot overemphasize the need of God being in here at the center of your relationship. Whether it's you're not married, you're just still relating, whether you're married, God being at the center is very key.
Yeah.
Because if God is at the center, communication will be so easy, you know, because you will always be focusing to do that what pleases God. And what pleases God is for me to speak, to talk to my spouse, how I talk to my spouse, you know, from how I behave when he's not there, how I behave when he's there. So whenever we put God at the center, things will work. I believe that. Things will work whenever God is at the center. The Bible says that a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. If you have God, you and your spouse or your friend or your partner, this strand will not be easily broken. Not by other people, not by forces. You know, again, the Bible says that we do not fight against flesh and blood. We do not fight the people. It's not your spouse. It's not the person you're relating with. They are forces. But when we have God, the principality. When we put God at the center, then we'll be able to overcome these forces.
Amen.
Absolutely, Wanja.
And
wow. We're just getting it from everywhere. That's what I'm constantly receiving, and what I'm hearing is that God should be the center of it all. Like if He's not the foundation, then we will be walking on shaky ground.
That is true.
So I know we can't cover the whole topic of unfaithfulness all of it today, but you guys are welcome to ask us questions, and just we will answer them as we are led. But of course there are hacks that they have been able to get along the way that have helped them to get to the point that they are today, and they will share that with us. Maybe there's some things they did that helped them with making things a bit easier. There's
also one thing that we need to talk about, expectations also. Like when you're here and your other person is on the other end, there are those expectations, you know. It could be financial, you know. There are those expectations. It could be even the friendship, you know. There are there are expectations. Even like, who are you? Who are your friends when you're here? I expect you back home. If for him, I expect you to work with other married men, you know. He expects me to work here with other married men, you know.
And something else, when you come to Australia, many people expect you to find work and be stable by yourself. That's something else.
So expectations again is something that would pull you back. It's such a huge challenge. But I believe even with the expectations, just be easy on this other person, you know. Be easy. And if, like we are saying, we have put God, we are communicating, you will not be frustrated that they are not meeting those expectations, you know. You will not be frustrated because, for example, when I came, as we all know, the connotation that when you are, when you are in the, like here, we call it Maju, I should send money for him. But if that's what he expected, he would have been disappointed. Because I came, I stayed for over 6 or so months without a job. In fact, he used to send me money all the way from Africa here. So you see,
and that happened.
Most of the time,
you end up
being a dependent.
And you're here, like you're the one who's Maju. But we have different expectations, and that's a very good point. You come here, you're expecting Wanja is in Maju, and Wanja is an international student. But that's why also another thing you can look at as we look at expectations is the goals.
So basically, when Wanja is talking about expectations, I'm thinking we have so many things that we expect, and most of the times it's because we program our mind to think that we don't want to think outside the box.
Yeah.
We don't want to imagine the worst that can happen. And if you
Comfort zone.
if you want to lie on your comfort zone or think of that being Maju is a bed of roses, you end up being disappointed. And one thing I came to realize is that when Esther was here and I was back at home, he actually needed me more than I would expected. I expected, because one thing, she's separated from her family, and most of the people that she would talk to, her friends and all that, were not here with her. To a country where she doesn't know so many people, would need you more than you would need her, in quotes, because you need to encourage her every now and then. Every now and then, you need to keep telling her that you're walking the journey together. Otherwise, if you decide that you're going to sit on the side and watch her and ask her to make money for this beautiful future that you're endeavoring, you end up becoming disappointed. And like for me, one thing that has stood out for us is that we have been people who have really worked hard and asked God to guide us, because there was no particular time that I would say that we never had a direction in life. We are always sought from God and asked God, is this the right way that we're going to follow? And please come through for us, because we don't even know what to do next after here. And I think most of the things that I'm grateful for is the people who stood with Esther that time when not so many things were happening. You know, she's here, she doesn't have friends, she's starting life, she's trying to navigate around and know where she belongs. And you know, at that time, the best I could have done for her is to encourage her, not to ask money from her. I knew she didn't have a job. And in any case, if she needed something from me, I could give it to her. And I think that should be the same ideation that most of us should have. We should give each other a grace period. Where we know that in as much as we have that thinking that when you come abroad you have money, and it's something that most of us have. Of course, I will not exempt myself from it, because most people who went abroad before me, you could see that they have money. So and
that characteristic of people who came to abroad, they made people who came here try to pretend
they have money.
They have money. When you are here, people in Kenya think that you are stable, and that mentality makes people who come here, to like pretend they have money, and not to air their concerns back home, and therefore they continue toiling in some problems, and without having to share. And that's why I would like to encourage you, when you come here, do not withhold what you are going through. Ask for support. Like my wife was very open to me. We would discuss, and I would be able to help where I could, and that is very important, because it makes her feel safe in this country. Because there's some people who, because of that, and they don't want to feel like they're burdening the people back at home, they end up being depressed. They end up engaging in activities like alcoholism and drugs, and they end up losing their, in our country we say you lose your brain, you lose it all. So they end up like losing it all, and losing the main meaning of coming here.
And touching upon the expectations, it's just like the way the word of the Lord reminds us that when two are they become one. So in as much as one is working in a different county, the other one is in a different continent, you're still one. So if it's the matters of finances, just keep that going, keep the communication going, and that way there's a whole transparency. One of you would be earning in terms of dollars, the other one is still earning in terms of Kenya shillings. Let's break down our finances. This is where we are at. If there are things that you're working together, like the other spouse is joining this other person, have a communication, have a dialogue towards what is our goals from where we are at the moment. We are now married. So are we looking into coming together and continuing with our marriage together as like living under one roof.
Yeah.
And if your spouse is not online, send them an encouraging message. So this is a home that is one, but it's only separated with just the distance. Yeah.
Sometimes even the idea of distance is actually in the mind.
Yeah.
You don't have to be even separated physically to know that you're in a distant relationship.
Yeah.
You can be in a distant relationship even in your own house.
That's
So you gotta be very.
That's a nice perspective.
Yeah, you gotta be
Topic
very
for another day.
I'm just saying. So distance can actually be in the brain.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, we've had great insights from these great people, and we thank them for being so open. And again, I'm sure you probably still have a few more questions, and what maybe to embark on that journey, and you are wondering how to go about it. You can send us some messages on our inbox, our YouTube channel, on Facebook. You on Twitter? Yeah? Instagram. You can just try and catch us on the social media, and we will be glad to get back to you. So we will continue with this conversation. We will probably be shooting another video on the same topic, just to cover some areas that we may have not done today. But we're thankful for watching, and keep it here. And thank you for your support.
Next time we want to hear your story as well. We want to hear.
Maybe next time we will have to talk about singlehood. Keep it here, and thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
enriching experience.
Yes.
We never lose. We
either learn or win.